Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn to draw the ray diagrams for the first type of spherical mirror, the concave mirror. In the previous video, we have learned that there are two kinds of spherical mirrors, the concave mirror and the convex mirror. The concave mirror is known as a converging mirror because it generally bends the incident rays falling on its surface towards the principal axis. If you remember, we had drawn a proper angle I, angle R, and then observed that every time a ray strikes a concave mirror, it is bent towards the principal axis, due to which we call it as a converging mirror. Today we are going to learn that if we are given an object in front of the concave mirror, how we can draw its image. We have to follow a certain set of rules. I have taken a principal axis. A principal axis is an imaginary line which passes through the pole of the mirror. That is the definition. But for drawing a ray diagram, we have to obey certain rules for which your diagrams will give you accurate results. Now I have taken a radius of curvature which is 4 centimeters. It is your wish. You can take it as 3 centimeters or 6 centimeters according to your choice. It is not compulsory to draw a ray diagram using a compass. But I suggest initially you should draw the diagrams using a compass to get the proper shape of the mirror. I am going to place the compass on the principal axis and then draw a concave mirror having a specific radius. This will help me to mark my required points on the accurate places. Now once I have drawn this surface, now you know it very well that the outer bulging surface of the concave mirror is the polished surface and the inner curved surface is the reflecting surface. This is the pole. The principal axis should pass through the pole. This point at which I had placed my compass, I will mark it as C. So this distance between P and C, this is 4 centimeters and we call it as radius of curvature. Exactly at the half of C and P, we can mark our focus. This is 4 centimeters. So accurately at 2 centimeters, I need to mark my focus. Focus is marked as capital F. You need to mark all these points for obtaining a correct ray diagram. Now I am going to select an object somewhere on the principal axis beyond C, and then let us see how to draw the ray diagram to get its image. Now when you are learning the ray diagrams, you will be required to learn the positions of the object and the image before drawing the ray diagrams. Now the object I am selecting beyond C. The height of the object should be considerable. It should not be too small. It should be considerably tall so that you get your ray diagrams clear. Mark the position of the object as O. This kind of an object is known as an extended object, right? Now we have to select two incident rays and then obtain its reflected rays. Wherever the reflected rays would intersect, the image will be formed at that place. And as I told you, before drawing the ray diagrams, you are required to learn the positions, that where do we take an object and where should an image fall. If you take an object beyond C, the image should fall between C and F. And if you are drawing the ray diagram accurately using all the rules carefully, you will obtain the image at the right place. So let us start drawing the ray diagram. We need at least 2 incident rays and all the incident rays will start from the tip of the object. So I'll take my scale and the first incident ray which you should draw in all ray diagrams, it's almost compulsory, is the ray parallel to principal axis. If you remember, I told you the rays in the previous video that any ray which is parallel to principal axis, this is an incident ray, the arrow will tell you, any ray which is parallel to principal axis after reflection passes through the focus. Because I have made all my measurements clearly, so I know where the focus is, and I also know the reason behind this reflected ray, that why this ray is passing through the focus. Because if you mark the normal I told you is the point joining the point of incidence and the center of curvature. So this will be angle I and this will be angle R. So any ray which travels parallel to principal axis after reflection passes through the focus. So I have got one incident ray and one reflected ray. To obtain an image, I need to have at least two reflected rays. Means two incident rays also. Now second ray. I have a choice here. I can pass the ray through the focus. I can pass the ray through the center of curvature. I prefer to draw this ray because this ray keeps your diagram simple. Because when you take the incident ray, see the tip of the object and the surface of the mirror and the point C. You have to place your scale properly and then draw the ray. And your pencil should be absolutely sharp. Any ray that passes through center of curvature, the same ray is the incident ray and the same ray is the reflected ray, as you all know. Because in this ray, angle I and angle R both will be 0. Now you can see that the two rays have intersected at this point. Now we have to join the point of intersection to the principal axis. The head of the image lies at the point of intersection. It is very important to remember this rule, that the head of the image lies at the point of intersection. जहाँ पर ये दो rays intersect हो रही हैं, वहाँ पर आप image का head बनाएंगे. And you will label this image as I. O for object and I for image. So we have got the object. Whenever an object is taken beyond C, the image should lie between C and F. Now, whenever we draw a ray diagram, after drawing the ray diagram, it is extremely important to write the characteristics of an image in the order. You must write the position, then you must write the nature. Nature means whether the image is real or virtual, and then you must write down the size of the image. These are the three features of the image we have to write. As you can see, the position of the image is between C and F. Nature. I told you in my previous video that the image can either be a real image or a virtual image. Any image which is in front of the mirror. You can see the object is also in front of the mirror and the image is also in front of the mirror. Such an image is known as a real image. The second reason, the object is erect and the image is inverted with respect to the object. So this is again the feature of a real image. Third feature I told you, if I place a screen here at the point in front of the mirror, the image can be easily seen on the screen. And the fourth point I told you will become clear when you do the ray diagrams. You can see I took an incident ray and obtained a reflected ray. This is an incident ray and the same ray is the reflected ray. Wherever the two rays are intersecting, the image is formed at that point. This is also a feature of a real image, that the real image is always formed at the point of intersection of the two reflected rays. So, this real image is showing 4 features. Hence, the nature of the image is real and inverted. Now, size. As you can see, the size of the object is quite big and the image is small. For this image, you can call it as a diminished image, or you may call it as a image smaller than the object. Now, this finishes your ray diagram. You have to draw the ray diagram neatly. Take care of the arrows, incident ray, reflected ray. The object should be marked. The position of the image should be marked. And then you have to write down the characteristics of the image. This is how you draw a ray diagram in case of a concave mirror. Now, after this, you will have to learn the 6 positions of the object and draw all the 6 ray diagrams according to the rules that I have told. Thank you.